Hey guys, Don from GCI Traytec. You guys would have heard about Alastair talking about modular designs. Today we're going to have a bit of a look at what that actually means. So if we look at our canopies, you can see we've got our uni-strut rails right through the floor of it. Now those probably don't make sense to you at the moment, but what we do is we put these little guys in them. So I'll show you how these little guys work. Simply slot in, twist and lock. So they're spring loaded, so they hold tension on them. Slot in, twist and lock. Now we grab, I'll use this as an example to show you what we can do. Simple bolt through, holds it down nice and secure, and that thing, once done up tight, will not go anywhere. But if you don't want that there, simple unbolt. You can pop these little guys out, or you can just slide them along, and then we can bolt it up down this end of the canopy. So these little uni-strut guys, what they give you the freedom to do is you can start with a basic floor in your canopy. Nothing but a floor. Nice and simple setup. Then you can add a drawer later down the track if you wanted to. And that just involves unbolting the floor. These guys again, bolting the drawer in. But if you've already got a drawer and you're like, you know what, I've seen some kitchens on your guys' website and I want a kitchen in mine. Again, unbolt the drawer unit, take it out, and we can replace it with a kitchen, a fridge. Really, flexibility is all on you guys, so you guys get what you want.
Alright guys, so that is how the build has progressed through the GCI Traytec workshop to get to where we are now, the finished product. So this is a GMC Sierra AT4 HD. So it's very similar to the Silverado 2500. So the GMC Sierra is just the high-end Silverado, and it's really well finished with the GCI Traytec canopy. So we'll get to that shortly. But first, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. We are doing so many builds almost weekly. A video does come out and we're going to make sure you are the first ones to be informed if you do subscribe. So make sure you do that. We do have a competition running at the moment as well to give away a 12-volt weekender power system. So it's about $4 we're giving away for free. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and also tag 3 mates on the Instagram post with my head on it. So let's get to the car. That's the formalities done. Let's go. If you spec an awning in your build through GCI Traytec, it's going to come with a 4-meter, 270-degree clever shade awning. So I haven't set one of these up before on camera. I'm going to do it now, but before we do so, it is 16 kilos and it is rated to about 50 k's of wind. So pole free. Let's set it up, and yeah, they're a really cool product. Done. So as you can see, it's basically a central pivot point and it's held at both ends. So I hook in the very first one and then I walk it around, and then there's a rod that extends out of the roof rack which gives it tension on the other side. So I could have got a bit more tension on that, but I was racing the clock. So yeah, as you see, you can put a fair bit of force on this and it doesn't wobble at all. It's much sturdier than other products out there, and it's also yeah, completely waterproof material. No poles, you wouldn't want to swing on it, but it is really good for the shelter from the rain or the sun. So the train canopy on this Sierra, what we've done, we've gone for a 2 meter tray, so 2 meters long and 2 meters wide. We've then gone for a 1700 canopy. So that gives us a 300 millimeter lip on the back to mount the ladder, the spare wheel, and then also the 2 jerry cans there as well. So get to that shortly. Obviously the canopy's got heaps of stuff decked out throughout, so we'll get to all of it. Before so, let's talk about the tray. We have our under tray toolboxes. So these are standard for GCI Traytec. We don't gotta overcome the vacuum and it comes out. So we don't do any swing down toolboxes, we only pull them out. So with an American builds, obviously we've got central locking in there. We've also got in toolbox lighting as well. So we got some white lights that come on. Same with the front, so these come out. Same similar design. The front's a little bit bigger on the GMC. Depends on how much space is available. We do try and maximize the usable space behind or into the chassis. What you do achieve is you can just stack things in here perfectly. You're not trying to put straps and recovery gear, hold it in there and close the door, because that's an absolute nightmare if anyone's tried to do it. So a really, really cool design. And yeah, completely water, dust proof. Nothing's getting in or out. So I just turn those lights off, lock them up. So standard compression latches on them. All right, so the powder coat color we've gone for on this train canopy package, it is a Textura Bass. So basically charcoal. So it's a scratch resistant charcoal color throughout, but then we do have 2 packed outer skin doors. So these are color matched. It's not standard for GCI Traytec to 2-pack paint, but we will obviously do it. So this here and the canopy doors are exact same color as the cab. Inside, we've got bright white, so that is a powder coat. So everything on the inside's a bright white. We always do a different color powder coat on the inside as we do on than the outside. Basically, if you go dark on the inside, it's gonna look really small. It's gonna not a very nice workspace or place to cook out of or anything. So keep it light on the inside and scratch resistant and durable on the outside. This customer's also optioned for the blackout kit, but in this case, it's the charcoal kit. So all our caps, our water fillers, water outlet, diesel and AdBlue on the other side. Really cool option that we do offer as well. Moving to the inside of the canopy, we've touched on the powder coat color. We do have our full Enerdrive touring kit. So we've done so many of these now, but I never get sick of looking at them. It's such a neat setup. There's so much there, and you can literally power anything, which, well, more or less anything that plugs into a power point at home. So won't run a jackhammer, anything that pulses high and low. But yeah, that 2 kilowatt inverter with the inbuilt RCD. It's a really neat unit. Also got the transfer switch in it. So look, won't go into too much detail about it all. We've got a full video on that as well. So make sure you check that out if you are interested in the ins and outs of all our electrical packages. Below the electrics, we've got a drawer. So we've got full pull-out drawer, and then we've got the stainless bench underneath it. So they do work independently of each other, so you can just have your bench out and your drawer in. So below this drawer housing, we house the 200 amp hour lithium BTEC battery by Enerdrive. So we make sure we've got an access panel to the top. So if you do run that battery completely flat and you need to restart it, you can take those 4 bolts off and direct access to the top of the battery, and you can hit the restart button and do what you need to get that battery rebooted and going again. So that's yeah, tucked away, but well, behind this drawer here. So I think there was a bead roll of it actually. You can see when the camera goes down there, you can see exactly where the battery is. This drawer here is absolutely huge. So much storage. Rule of thumb with our drawers, if we go wider than 600 mils, we put a stiffener on the inside of it. So we have had a case, we've done really big drawers. Customers have loaded them up so much they have bowed a little bit in the middle. So now, if we go longer than 600, it does come with a stiffener down the middle, just to make sure it's not gonna bow, meaning you're not gonna have metal on metal, scratch your powder coat and have a horrendous hissing noise as you pull your drawer out. All right, so moving to the back of the car, what we have is a lot going on. Obviously, we have integrated the tow bar into the back of the tray as best as we possibly can. But one really new and cool feature on these GMC trucks over the Chevys is the blind spot radar. So what we've done, we've incorporated that into the rear winch infill, and then we've held it at the same angle to make sure that they work as factory. Now, a big thing with these blind spots, you need to remember they're not a driving aid. So we relocate them as per OEM instructions. They work as per OEM, but do not trust the little orange light because there may be a motorbike there, it won't pick it up. So yeah, as OEM, but do not rely on them because nothing's perfect. We've got water outlet here. So again, we've got the charcoal out, or the blackout as we call it. Pull that down and then, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. All right, so this is the water outlet. So we need to plug this into our bulkhead connection here. So it's completely flush when you're driving along. You can't whack off your tap in the bush or whatever. So you grab this, you pop it in. So I do have a pump on this one. So this is at 9.5 litres per minute. It does come out. So this customer has only option for an under tray tank. So there's 100 litres underneath the tray. We can also fit 60 in the headboard, that has not been optioned on this build. Rear ladder, our standard rear ladder works with 35s either side or a single 35 behind it. Dual folding, obviously. So we have this guy comes down and then you can climb up. Make sure you watch the other YouTube video with all that on it. But if you do need to get your tire out, so obviously that's tucked in behind here, usually next to impossible, but you basically undo these screws, the whole arm comes down and you have full access to your spare wheel and get it off as per standard. So yeah, if you are interested in how it all works, check that other video out. All right, so moving to the passenger side of the vehicle or the kitchen side. So it's really common for us at GCI Traytec to set up the passenger vehicle or the passenger side of the vehicle to be the kitchen space. So let's open it up and have a look at what's happening on the inside here. So starting off left to right, we have an infill panel here with all our GPOs and also inverter switch. So I'm going to turn that on real quick. So that's our AC power. So if I hold that down, all our power points are live. So yeah, GPOs, USBs, SIGGI socket. In here we've got the Bushman 130 litre fridge. So much space in there. It's got a little freezer as well. So what we do here, we change the mounting orientation so they come standard with the right hand opening. We change them to left. We also change the locking position, that's usually at the top, and we do a really nice front as well for it. Pantry, so this pulls out. About 130 litres of storage in that one pantry. So you can put all your everyday consumables you use, so your spices, your oils, everything you need really easily for your kitchen. You can have it in here. All your bulkier goods go in here, and then at the back here it's a soda stream. So a slot designed specifically for the soda stream. If you're not using it, obviously chuck a wine bottle in there, a few beer bottles, a few toolies, you'll have a good time. So the kitchen is one of the products I'm personally most proud of. It literally kept me up at night when I was trying to design it. We had a few prototypes that didn't work perfectly. We've got it to a point now where I'm really, really happy with it, and there's not much else out there which can do what this kitchen can do. So obviously it's all packed up. This is the bounding box for it, or the frontal area. Let's pull it out, set it up and show you guys everything about it. So this pulls out, locks into place on the slides. I then pull my handle, pull it down, drops down 5 inches. It's not a huge amount of drop, but I'll show you why we're limited to that much drop. Legs come up and then the whole top comes over. We then lock it in there. So right now, I've got a pretty bloody sturdy workbench. If you're pressing that hard on the kitchen, you're chopping some seriously frozen pumpkin or something like that. I don't know why you'd freeze pumpkin, but anyway. Let's pull this bit out. So this is extra storage. That comes out, and then we have the sink down the bottom as well. So we got a 7 litre foldable sink. Push that out. Obviously a lot of kitchens this style, they do have drop legs that come out. We don't need them. So what we have instead, we have a rear locking mechanism. Usually you do this before you drop the whole thing down. So what I'll do, I might just put this up real quick, just so I can get easier access to it. I have these two legs back here, and these lock into place. So what I mean by that, we just tighten them up until they literally go tight. And then we give it the wobble test. If it wobbles, we need to go tighter. So that there, it's pretty bloody solid. So a little bit more. I'm real happy with that. Set it back up. And then we have a power cord for our induction cooker. So we can't have anything that pulls out to be permanently wired in the kitchen. So I've got my power cord back here. That simply plugs into our GPO plugs right at the back there. And then you've got the full induction cooktop. Everything is flat. You've got, full flat surface here. We've got a stainless steel bench here. So that means we're going to have real hot pans, go from here straight onto our stainless. We don't have to worry about burning the powder coat off. All these come up, we've got storage underneath. Same here, more storage, and then more storage here as well. So much room in one little kitchen. It really does just fold out, drops down, pulls over. And then we can pull out the pantry at the same time, grab whatever we need, keep cooking, leave this a little bit open, and then there's still so much space. You can have someone else on the other side prepping food whilst you're cooking it. So it's a really nice cooking area, something that literally anyone would be jealous of. So some people have requested that we drop the kitchen larger than the 5-inch, and why it's not possible is it's very simple. So we need to be working above the slides. So if we drop it further down, this here is going to sink below these slides because the slides don't move. Everything on the slides moves, but the physical slide itself doesn't. So if this cooktop is below our slides, it's not going to work. So these finger guards, we have finger guards either side to make sure you're not getting any pinch points or hurt yourself. These are resting on top of the slides. It's not the stop for them, but it is designed so that this guard, there's about a 1 mil gap in between them. So that is as far as low as we can go. Obviously we can make this bigger, but it means we have to make this bigger, and then you're still gonna drop the same amount. So this is the ideal solution for us. All right, so finishing off the kitchen side, we've got toolboxes on both sides as well. So they pull out, this one here pulls out. They're really cool because as I do struggle then to get them out, I have to overcome the vacuum on the inside of the box to pull that out. So if you've got vacuum, you know nothing's getting in or out of them. On the side here, finishing it off, we do have diesel filling. So that does work with a high flow truck pump. There's 13 parts welded in the inside of that. There's an internal baffling system to make sure there's no overspray coming out. And it also means the actual fuel nozzle goes straight in. You don't have to hold it at any stupid angle. It just goes straight in as usual. Fill it up until it clicks. All right, so as Dom mentioned earlier with the canopies, we do work on a modular system here at GCI Traytec. So yes, the canopies are modular, but we also carry that through to the trays. So what I mean by that is everything you see here is a lift-off system. So you can take this canopy off. You wind legs into the jack-off points in the sides. You undo 4 M12 bolts. The whole canopy lifts off. We have caster legs as well, so it means you don't have to lift the canopy, drive the car out. You can lift the canopy and then lift the canopy and wheel it back. You then have a completely flat tray to work with. From that, you can then put drop sides on. So we have our integrated tie-down rails. So this is standard on all GCI Traytec trays. So we have tie-down rails along here. So they're actually functional. They're bloody strong. You're not going to break them. They are really, really cool. But at the end of them, you see these black caps. That there is the pivot point for the drop sides. This guy up the front here, that is the front lock for the drop side. So even if you don't option for drop sides at the start and you plan of never taking your canopy off, if you do change your mind and you do want to put drop sides, you don't need to get a new headboard. The parts are already there. So what that means is if you do want drop sides, I'm using drop sides as an example, but we can send them to you anywhere in Australia after the point of sale. You don't have to option them when you pick up your GCI Traytec tray. All right, so another example of the modularity of this complete package is the stainless top on the tunnel drawer at the back. So I'll pull it out and show you how that goes on as well. So we've got a 1.2 meter tunnel drawer with a stainless lid. This here, we've got rivets on the side. These rivets are already pre-drilled. So when I say drilled, it's actually laser cut. So we don't do any drilling. We don't drill by hand at all. Everything is done on one of 5 laser cutters that GCI Group have. 5, there's literally 5 of them. And then yeah, so we can send this to you after the point of sale. So I can lift that up. So yeah, that's just 2 examples of how the modularity that we do make sure we keep throughout all the products flows from the tray and then also into the canopies as Dom showed you before. Thanks Dom, appreciate it buddy. All right, if you're sitting at home and thinking, this looks so good, how do I get hold of one? Or I really like the kitchen and the pantry, but I don't necessarily need all that power. Pick up the phone, talk to Tom here at GCI Traytec. He is the guy to speak to about speccing a build specifically for you. So that is what's possible. You don't have to go this far, but it is a really cool setup, and we have done many with a lot more gear in the back of them as well. So if you're not in the market for them, but you are wanting to keep up to date with everything that we're doing and how we are pushing the market to improve, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, do everything you need to do to make sure you're the first one to get informed when GCI Traytec release a new epic car.
But you got to say